Welcome back to Finding Voices channel. This is a special plugin for Rama Siva. I heard that Rama has new things. I'm not sure what is it yet. Rama, can you tell us, please?
Hey guys, thank you, Alex. So on the 29th and 30th of June, I will be holding a workshop in Stevenage in Hertfordshire, where I will be sharing what I've learned in my journey to expressing myself fully. What I've learned from stuttering is that it may have a genetic predisposition to it, but it doesn't mean that with the right strategies you can actually start to live your life. For many years I've been on many programs, and it wasn't until that I started to work on the mind, worked on the holding back aspect of my personality, that I was able to become free from the negative thinking. It meant I wasn't living my life, I was just existing. So on this 2-day workshop, I will be sharing all the mind strategies such as affirmations, visualizations, meditation, mindfulness, everything specifically for stuttering and not holding back. Stuttering can be such a debilitating condition, issue, problem, but it doesn't mean it's a life sentence. And Alex and I have been on the same program, so we know how it is in the real world. Unfortunately, 90% of people are stuck in the mentality of not wanting to come out of the closet. What closet? The stuttering closet. We don't want to be known as someone who's different. We don't want to speak like this. We just want to appear fluent. And in the chase for fluency, we are stuck within our own confines. And in this workshop, I will be sharing my life story and techniques which has helped me, and I hope that it will be of benefit to yourself and to anyone else that you may share this video with. So thank you, Alex.
I understand it's for free, right?
This workshop is a chargeable workshop. It was debated that it might be free, but the problem with having something for free, Alex, is that if there's no value attached to it, no one will actually make a change. I've done lots of free videos.
You can do cognitive value, and it doesn't have to be estimated in money.
Sorry?
The value can be cognitive, and you don't have to put a price tag on that. I mean,
yeah, I mean, everything that I share is actually available publicly on the internet, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist. What I've done in my case is I'm hiring a room, and I'm making sure that everyone who attends will be able to make a shift in their mindset to be able to become free from stuttering, in the terms of not holding back, not living their life in their stance, not going on the pitch. I can only share from my experience, which I did, Alex. For many years I was on this program, and I just didn't do anything in the real life. I didn't do any podcasts, I didn't do any YouTube channels, I didn't do any Facebook, I didn't do any Instagram. And you know what? 90% of those people are in the same boat. And what they need to do is to challenge themselves to see what is stopping them from getting out of the stuttering closet. You know what? It's themselves. And I've been on a journey. I've been on the journey for 10 years. So what you get is my experience for the last 10 years. Since I've traveled, I've read books, I've interviewed people, I've been on personal development programs, spent a lot of money trying to develop myself, to actually find out what was behind the stuttering. The stuttering is just the speech production problem. It's just one issue, but just like the iceberg shows, there are so many other things underneath it. What you need to do is to melt away those things. You look at your belief systems, you look at what you want to do with your life, you look at your self-identity. So you look at all those aspects about your entire being. I will also cover spirituality, because we're not just a accident like Charles Darwin, a fellow stutterer, talks about. We are part of the universe, guaranteed. Whether you believe it or not, you'll know when I meet you on the other side.
How much?
That's a good question. Because I'm on the Alex Finding Voices podcast, I will make a special price of $197 for the weekend. That's £197. Normal price is $297. You can get the...
It's for me?
For you? You can come for free.
Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, I would...
For all the people who our fans. Well, thank you.
Your fans
thank
get a
you.
discount of
Mention
$197.
Finding Voices. Yeah, you'll get
Finding
a
Voices, Voices 99. You'll get this discount of £100 from the price. And a lot of people who stutter are very apprehensive of paying for money. But you know what? How much I paid for my personal development course?
No one cares.
£5,000. You know what a lot of other people pay? £10,000, £25,000. It is a life development course, not a speech therapy course. You can do speech therapy courses for £1,000. Go and do them. But when you are ready to graduate, to actually go to the MBA program, come and join a personal development program that will help you to actually move your identity, move your level to the stratosphere, not be stuck at the stuttering level of thinking, which is what I was, which was what I was for many, many years.
Well, your price is kind of reasonable.
I think $297 for your fans, $197 is a great price. And what you get is you get a introductory.
What you paid for?
What you get is an introductory workshop, interactive workshop with people who have actually made a breakthrough in their speech and in their lives. That's what you get. You don't get someone who's stuttering and you're still stuttering. You get someone who's actually done podcasts, done YouTube videos, done TV interviews, done radio interviews, and that's actually started to face the fears. So if you know anyone who stutters, please share this with them.
Yeah, I'll post the link in the description. So I understand that some speech language pathologists who might be psychologists as well, yeah, they understand that it can be psychological, the trick about the price. The more you pay, the higher the placebo effect you have, right? So if it's like expensive, oh, it must be good. So you trick yourself into thinking that it works, and it will work because you reprogrammed your mind for the money. In your case, you are not doing that, obviously. You're being honest, and yeah, I would listen to what you have to say. Yeah, for 3 days.
2 days. It's a weekend.
2 days.
Weekend workshop in Stevenage. And like I said, Alex, it's about life therapy, not speech therapy. Every stutterer has been in speech therapy for longer than they care. I was in speech therapy since the age of 8, and I would still be in speech therapy now if I hadn't gone out of the program.
What program? Where program?
Maguire program, yeah. I haven't been on the program in 10 years. And I would still be surrounded with people who are not stuttering in their support groups, not stuttering on phone lists, but were stuttering in their real lives. And like I said,
Like all of us.
actually, you know what? If that's the case, 99%. The way I speak,
100 almost. Like.
the way I speak with you is the way I speak with everyone in the street, including the guy in the pub. You make your life your comfort zone. You don't just put the speech techniques in Maguire. You don't put them in Starfish. You need to work on your inner self, your perception of yourself. Work on your self-identity. If you class yourself as a recurring stutterer, you'll always be a recurring stutterer. At some point, you need to let go of the control and wanting to be a recurring stutterer. And that is what is needed for you to make a breakthrough.
So basically, your course for advanced stutterers who already have experience in some mind digging and research making about stuttering stuff, right? I mean, what you are saying would go over my head like 10 years ago, but now I kind of understand the fly of your thought because I'm being initiated, because I'm.
Yeah, this one is an introduction workshop for people who have been on Maguire or Starfish, specifically because they are struggling in the real world.
Yes.
Like I was. Like I was.
We do. Like everyone does.
Yeah.
If you turn to no one mentions it. Everyone relapses on Maguire. No one talks about it.
I relapsed after 3 months. For 3 months, I was amazing.
3 months not bad.
3 months not bad. I was amazing. I made a disclosure to Alistair Campbell, the press secretary of Tony Blair, Prime Minister Tony Blair. I then made a disclosure.
I don't even know that name. It doesn't ring a bell. It means nothing to
Everyone
me.
can Google Alistair Campbell, Tony Blair, Prime Minister, not Donald Trump, not
Tony
Donald
Blair,
Duck.
I've heard name.
Tony Blair, yeah. So I disclosed to Tony Blair when I was in Barbados, 2006. Now, disclosing to him felt great, but did I make a breakthrough in my speech to a level that I'm where I am now? No. You can disclose as fuck to everyone, like our friend Alex likes to say.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
But you need to work on the inner game. You need to
Yes.
change your self-identity. See yourself as a person that you're bigger than the stutter. You're bigger than the speech impediment. You are actually connected to the universe. You're an embodiment of love. You are connected to everything around you. It's just the fear of yourself that has disconnected you from everything. Speechless?
No. I mean, I understand.
Excuse me.
I understand pantheology, philosophy, that we are the expression of the universe, and it's very possible that the universe created people so it can take a look at itself. I mean, yeah, I understand the concept, and but according to this concept, like if your expression, if this point of view, you're supposed to stutter, so you're supposed to start in this.
If you read my book in its entirety, you'd have read a chapter by Robert Schultz, right?
Right, but that means that we don't have to do anything about it. But I'd like to do stuff about my stuff.
So let me talk about my chapter with Robert Schultz. He's an afterlife hypnotherapist, and
basically scam.
I'm not too sure about that, but
whatever it is, salesman,
whatever it is,
con artist. Go on.
Whatever it is, Alex. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Not in the way you're asking. No.
In what way do you believe?
I believe that when I when I die, I'll be dead.
You'll be dead.
I'll be
This
already
body will be dead, but
That everything about me will be dead,
and your spirit, your soul, will
Will
that
be
continue to
dead.
exist?
oh, everything will be dead.
Okay.
Everything about me.
Then you
be
will.
dead.
Then you'll find my workshop enlightening, because after you leave this body,
Each time I would hear that.
after
Go-
you leave this body, you ascend or descend or wherever, you re-enter the
Hold on.
universe,
Hold on.
consciousness.
Are you trying to say that you are not your body? That you are this general consciousness, right? And
I
you
think-
you
I think
are your
Alex-
body.
I think, Alex, you very well know, if you have read Alan Watts, that you are more than your body. You're not just the physical body and the thoughts that spin around it.
Oh, I don't buy everything in pathology. No.
So you just pick and choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that I'm made out of many biological system, which is in a certain balance with each other. I know that my cells, all the cells in my body would change in a period of 2 years, and all those system in me, they function separately from each other, but being one big system. So when I die, everyone will go live each own way. I am a collective something, which a chemical of this existence give me this what I call consciousness, which I know that all I can see is in a spectrum of light, which is like 0.00001 of all the spectrums. I have only like 5 basic senses. That's it. That's it. And on top of that, like I allow myself to stutter.
So, going back to my point, I
Yeah.
believe that I chose to have stuttering to help other people with their stuttering. Why? It was my life choice. Everyone has their choice when they incarnate onto this plane.
Right.
Maybe for another podcast, but
Hold on. Are you so you have a self-identity? So by reincarnation, you mean that your self-identity will change maybe, and this is how you
no.
reincarnate?
Alex, Rama, we only have one body in this time and present earth, these great surroundings. So, and when we die, our soul, spirit, will go back to where it came from. And
You have to tell me what is soul.
your soul, your spirit, weren't you born as a Russian Orthodox?
I don't subscribe to organized religion. Fuck that.
Anyway, what happens is that if you have read near-death experience literature, or if you have listened to my podcast,
I do.
which is on Anchor FM now, StutteringMind, there was a brain surgeon, a Harvard medical
Yeah, I know
doctor.
the story. Yeah.
Did you listen to that?
There is a theory that when you under those conditions, your body releases DMT, dimethyl.
Yeah, but this guy is a brain
and
surgeon.
then you trip in your balls, and you.
This guy is a brain surgeon.
So
Do you think he's tripping?
he knows. Of course, he's tripping. He's still human. Fuck yeah, he's tripping.
And
yeah,
and
he knows he's tripping too.
and his brain surgeon colleagues, when they see the brain activity, do they know he's tripping?
I mean, it's proven. They don't have to see it to know it. they know that at some point, for some reasons which are not explained, your body can produce, I think, liver and lungs can release a bunch of DMT to help you to desensitize yourself with your body, because you might be in pain and stuff. It's all a self-defense mechanism.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
From my perspective, when I listen to Dr. Ibn Alexander, the Harvard-educated or Harvard medical professor, it helped me to change my perspective on my stuttering and my life. In terms of, why did I stutter so badly, and why was I so ashamed of sharing that I am a stutterer with the world? Why? Because I felt so disconnected from the world. I was fearful of the world. If I'm part of the world, like every religious, spiritual text tell you, then what am I afraid of? That's the breakthrough which I made, Alex. I'm not afraid of the world. I'm not afraid of stuttering.
You are the world.
I am the world. In fact, if I am the world,
See, I get it.
you are the world, then everything is in the world. Everything is in the mind.
You're just a part of this environment as I am. We like, what came first, a chicken or egg?
Who knows? I'll tell
I
you when
know the answer. No, come on.
What?
I thought that you would knew the answer right away.
Tell me your answer.
The thing is that you can't divide them. It's not two things, it's one thing. So the question is incorrect. Like it's asking what comes first. My thought of me walking, or my hand walks first, or my legs walk first. No, it's Alex moving first. Everything in me moves. All the muscles are involved. It's not two things, but we can break down things in time and space to get a better understanding. And if something stays as an egg for a certain period of time, we can call that period of time egg. When adds the period of time, it's a chicken. Then you extend it, and then you would see that chicken and egg, it's one thing. Nothing comes first. It all comes.
There you are.
Any hold on. Well, so yeah, well, let's assume that soul exists as consciousness, expression of consciousness of expression of consciousness. Maybe it exists. Okay, so we die, it goes where?
It's everywhere.
So
Like
it
you
goes
just
nowhere.
explained with the chicken and egg.
Right.
It's everywhere. You got it.
Right. All right. So reincarnation is just being in now. You always, like, I just reincarnated. Some of my cells just died, and some were born. Thousands of them. I died and I was born again and again, like every single second. If that we call reincarnation, yeah, like even after you burn me, after you spray me into the water, nothing changed. In the long run, what I've been or what I am or what I will be will have no effect on anything, because I'm on Earth, and once Earth will stop existing, there will be no memory of it. There will be no one to remember stuff, you know. So all these things I do is meaningless, and somehow I add meaning to my communicational part, and that makes me stutter because of like self-conscious because I was poisoned by the culture around me. The culture is not my friend. It just puts the barriers on my perception. Speaking about good reads, Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief. Very good read.
And what's your take on Bruce Lipton's work?
Oh, I think he's right. Yeah.
Could you say a bit more?
I think it's like every part of me has a confirmational bias on its own, and so and then it becomes a collective confirmational bias, which becomes like some bigger issue which everyone agree on. It can be in terms of my focus on my problems, or it can be in terms of my focus on my desires, or like if I'm researching something interesting, I would read everything on this topic. I would avoid everything else. And if I have opinion on a subject, I would probably confirm to people who has the same opinion, and I would stay away to read the critics first. But when you are not fixed on your confirmational bias, you would start to read the critics to check if your beliefs can hold on to it. I mean, like, look, you give me one religious person who would read Alan Watts, right? They would hate it. So like, what the? No, it's not how everything is done. No.
But you know what? A lot of the world's problems would be resolved if people read Alan Watts and Bruce Lipton's work.
But it's not what we're being fed. I mean,
That's another story, isn't it? We're being fed, aren't we?
Yeah, but we can't complain about it because we come into default world, and if we are expression of the universe, it means that that is how it's supposed to be, and it's a fatalism. I'm not sure if I completely can subscribe to it. You know, it's another podcast, like right there.
I think so.
How do we call it? We need a catchy clickbait name for what we just did.
Sorry?
We need a good clickbait name for this video. Do you have any ideas how we call it?
Good question. I'll ping you something.
How about like ask Rama how to expand your mind for 193, you said?
197.
197. Wow.
Ask Rama on how to expand your mind. How to expand your stuttering mind.
How to stop stuttering, how about that? Like, do you go that far?
Does it actually matter if you stutter? No, it just matters if you don't live your life like what I did, unfortunately.
So, well, stuttering, it not only internal, it shows externally. So we can say, well, a person stutters, even though a person claims that they're fluent as fuck.
Exactly.
So we have like some standards we can identify, to judge certain conditions by.
Yeah.
And stuttering is identifiable, but the severity of stuttering is hard to identify unless you're spending a week with a person, or better, a year. And still, no, you can crunch numbers, do average, and treat him with some extras. So if you won't get, you might go back home with the stuttering still, but you will come back home wiser, smarter, and knowledgeable after visiting.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys who have been on Megawire and Starfish obviously don't stutter in support groups and don't stutter on phone lists, right?
How do you make this transition for us to not to stutter in the real world? Like, what would you recommend?
That is what you need to do. You need to go on a journey within to reframe your identity from a recurring stutterer to a person that is okay being who he is. And fundamentally, it's important to realize that you're part of the universe, that all the fears that you have are within yourselves. And it's only when you're able to reevaluate what is real and what isn't, then you can become free. And if free means not stuttering, then so be it. Because stuttering, doing yeah, that is stuttering. And anyone who's been on Megawire or Starfish should have stopped that. If not, the program's failed for you. So what you'll get is a level of thinking that will open your mind to the possibilities of what you're capable of. And that is unlimited potential.
But look, on Megawire program, they don't promise you that you will stop stuttering. No, they tell you the opposite.
In fact, they have a disclaimer.
But they want to they give you articulate. The goal for you is to reach articulated eloquence, which is a well planned good speech.
Yeah, I don't know if you read the form which you signed in 2016. Did you read it fully? Because at the bottom it says disclaimer, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of that?
Well, when I'm signing a disclaimer, I know that I'm signing the disclaimer. I don't have to read it. Like, I read it probably, but somehow it didn't click for me much to pay attention to it. What did you find there?
If you give me 1 second, I'll find the copy of the Megawire contract.
Do you have a problem with Megawire?
No, it's just that 90% of people, like myself, are faking it. What do you say? 99 or 90?
Faking what?
Faking in the sense
That's what she said.
Huh?
No. What do you mean faking it?
I'm sure your wife has a great
We're not
great life.
talking about.
What I'm saying is that.
family.
What I'm saying, Alex, is that 90% or 99% of people who stutter are fine on phone lists and support groups, and yet in the real world
Well, it's not
are
faking
suffering.
it. It's not faking it.
Then what is it? What's the word?
They're not being fake. They're not faking being fine.
Then what are they
When,
doing? What is stopping them from helping
They are
themselves?
fine when we are fine. I am fine when I call coaches. I mean, I feel better, and it's a support system. I know I'm not faking it. I'm calling to get better. In terms of this thing that no one talks about, this Voldemort of Maguire program, is that like everyone relapses. I think Maguire would be much better if they just come clean with it and
Everyone
tell
knows.
people, like everyone knows. But
Everyone knows
no
that
one-
people
no one likes to
relapse.
do it.
In fact, it's normal for relapse, because if it doesn't happen, that means there's something wrong.
Well, relapse, it's also an exercise. It's like you can't grasp on a prolongation in one day.
Yeah.
So,
But there are
and
people
you
who have been
can't-
on repeat
yeah.
courses that do relapse continuously, despite being on it for many years.
Well, the thing is that no one taught me how not to be a sour loser when I relapse, but that can be taught. If I was told that, look, Alex, you will relapse, and then you have to rise up again, and then you will relapse again, and rise up again. But on the 15 times, you would about to relapse, but before I would do that, I would rise up again, and that's why relapse is there no matter what, but it should be dealt with in a proper way instead of just silencing it and
Why do you think that?
censoring it even.
Do you think that currently it is being censored? Because I've not been part of the program.
Yeah, of course. No one will tell you that they relapsed unless you're in a good.
Isn't that part of the being in the closet then?
Oh, well, of course. I mean, it's me who identifies Maguire as the best program to come out of
It
the
is
stuttering
the only program
closet.
currently, right?
Well,
Because Starfish,
according to me and you right now, but at Maguire program itself, people might think about themselves completely differently. Like when I say stop holding back, that they would give me 1,000 reasons that they mention it first. When I would speak about self-identity, of course they mention it first, but what we did, like what Ayu did me, we put points on the most important places where you should be assertive, like assertive self-identity. Come on. Or a road to self-actualization, right? Or stop holding back is one of the main reasons why we stutter, as important as a coming out of a closet or meeting, or So you're on the road to open your alternative to what Hammond Bailey is doing, for what Starfish is doing, and for Maguire. I mentioned all the best people, actually. Everything I mentioned, my love to you guys. You're the best. Also, American Institute for Stuttering. The same things, the same techniques, called differently, this and that. All in the same group of treatments. And I hope that if you can add the best out of everything, and like find your way, find your shortcut to help yourself, probably me, everyone, to stop stuttering.
cool. Thank you so much, Alex.
Bye for now. Alex was here. Rama, thank you for coming.
Cheers.
Bye for now.